Have you ever wondered why Real Madrid believes Jude Bellingham is more than just another football star? At only 21 years old, he isn't simply one of the world's best midfielders. To Real Madrid, he represents the future of an entire generation. The club has spent decades searching for players who can define an era, and many inside football believe they have finally found one. But what makes Jude Bellingham so special? How did a teenager from Birmingham become one of the most valuable footballers on the planet? And why are the biggest brands and one of the richest clubs in history investing so much in him? The answer begins long before the bright lights of the Santiago Bernabéu. Jude Bellingham was born in Stourbridge, England, and from an early age, football wasn't just a hobby, it was his obsession. While other kids dreamed of becoming professional players, Jude was already proving he belonged on the pitch. His father, Mark Bellingham, was a prolific non-league football striker who scored hundreds of goals throughout his career. Watching his father compete every weekend gave Jude a winning mentality long before he became famous. At Birmingham City's academy, coaches immediately realized they were looking at a once-in-a-generation talent. He wasn't the fastest player. He wasn't the strongest. But his football intelligence was years ahead of everyone else. He controlled games with incredible composure, made the right decisions under pressure, and played with the confidence of someone twice his age. At just 16 years old, Jude made his professional debut for Birmingham City, becoming one of the youngest players in the club's history. Within months, fans weren't simply excited anymore. They believed they were witnessing the birth of England's next superstar. His performances became impossible to ignore. Every match attracted more scouts. Every week, Europe's biggest clubs sent representatives to watch him play. Manchester United wanted him. Chelsea wanted him. Liverpool admired him. But one club made a decision that would completely change his career: Borussia Dortmund. Borussia Dortmund had built a reputation unlike any other club in Europe. They didn't just buy stars, they created them. When Jude Bellingham arrived in Germany, he was only 17 years old. Many people expected him to spend years developing before becoming a first-team player. Instead, he shocked everyone. From his very first matches, he looked completely comfortable against experienced professionals. He wasn't playing like a teenager. He was controlling games like a veteran. Every single season, he became stronger, smarter, and more complete. His passing improved, his defending became elite, and his leadership amazed even his coaches. Soon, Jude wasn't just one of Dortmund's best players. He became one of the best midfielders in Europe. The football world had found its next superstar. Then came the biggest decision of his career: Real Madrid. The Spanish giants had been quietly watching him for years. They weren't looking for another talented player. They were looking for the next leader of a new generation. After legends like Luka Modric and Toni Kroos dominated world football for more than a decade, Real Madrid needed someone capable of carrying the club into the future. They believed Jude Bellingham was that player. In 2023, Real Madrid completed a deal worth more than 100 million euros, making him one of the most expensive young players in football history. For many fans, the price looked unbelievable. How could a player so young be worth that much money? But inside the club, nobody saw it as a risk. They saw it as an investment. And Jude quickly proved why. His impact was immediate. He scored crucial goals, he delivered match-winning performances, and he played with confidence in the biggest stadiums against the strongest opponents. The pressure of wearing the famous white shirt never changed him. Instead, it made him even better. Within months, millions of Real Madrid supporters were already calling him the future face of the club. But football wasn't the only reason his value continued to explode. Off the pitch, Jude Bellingham was becoming one of the biggest commercial stars in world sport. Today, Jude Bellingham is far more than a football player. He has become one of the biggest investments Real Madrid has made in the modern era. His performances continue to increase his market value, while the world's biggest brands compete to work with him. Companies see more than an elite midfielder. They see the future face of football. With sponsorship deals, endorsements, and one of the fastest-growing personal brands in world sport, Jude's financial empire continues to grow every single season. But inside Real Madrid, money isn't the biggest reason they believe in him. Leadership is. Even at a young age, Jude plays with confidence, maturity, and responsibility that most players don't develop until much later in their careers. He demands more from himself, he inspires his teammates, and he never hides when the pressure is at its highest. That mentality is exactly what Real Madrid has always looked for in its greatest legends. From Alfredo Di Stefano to Zinedine Zidane, from Cristiano Ronaldo to Luka Modric, every great era was built around players who could lead the club when it mattered most. Many believe Jude Bellingham could become the next name on that list. His story is proof that greatness isn't created overnight. It is built through sacrifice, discipline, and the courage to embrace pressure instead of running away from it. From a young boy chasing a dream in England to becoming one of the most valuable footballers on earth, Jude has already achieved what millions only dream about. But perhaps this is only the beginning. Because Real Madrid didn't spend over 100 million euros simply to sign another talented player. They invested in the man they believe can lead the biggest club in the world for the next decade. The question is no longer whether Jude Bellingham is worth the investment. The real question is, how much more valuable will his legacy become in the years ahead?